Peace, y'all. Welcome back to the channel. So this piece right here is called the Temple of God. And basically my concept behind this piece is to truly embody the meaning of God is within. And our vessels, our being the temple for which God resides. We all have different beliefs and concepts behind this word God. And I simply believe that God is just the source that gives everything life. When we talk about God, we often feel love, we often feel compassion, joy, hope. All these different aspects are related to the concept of God. However, there's another side to God that is often unacknowledged. God is also the things that we assume as negative as well, because everything is God. If we say that everything is God, we must also include these negative aspects within the concept of God too. Because without the negative polarity or the negative side of things, we won't know what positive is. We won't understand what love or joy or these positive emotions are if we didn't feel pain, struggle, hate, or disappointment. God goes by many different names. People call God Jesus, Buddha, Yeshua, Christ, Elohim, Oledumare. The list goes on and on to the amount of names that we attribute to this omnipotent being that we call God. So, to my understanding and what I've come up with throughout my studies and exploring this concept more deeply is that if everything is God and God is within, then we too are God. We too are a mini version of this source creator called God. In our everyday lives, we are constantly creating, we are constantly manipulating this particular reality, bending this reality to our will in order to create something beautiful, in order to create something sustainable, or in order to create something destructive or something that reduces the capacity of life to thrive. I feel like we have these powers within our own hands. We have the power to create and we have the power to destroy. And it's up to us to be responsible with that power because we are also God, right? Not saying that we have complete control over our destiny, but we have some influence in the direction and the trajectory of where we want to take our destiny. I see us as miniature gods and a higher God, a higher source being, a creator being that allows us to have a human experience and allows us to make mistakes and allows us to evolve in order to return back to the true source of God. I believe that throughout time, human beings have come up with many concepts in order to control each other and take power from each other, right? And I think this is what's caused the negative aspect of God to surface, right? This negative aspects of ourselves, because we are both creator and destroyer. God is so powerful that it has split and separated itself into many different beings and life forms. God is able to experience itself through positive polarity and negative polarity. And through this experiencing, God continues to explore and know itself immensely. And I feel like when it comes to life and our purpose here, I believe that it is to explore deeper and understand who we are on a deeper level. So let's understand positive and negative for a second. To me, positivity and all things that are good is based in the understanding that It is for the expansion of life. It is pro-life. It is closer to the true essence of God. And when something is negative, I believe that it is against life. It is against expansion, and it is more distant from the true essence of God. But it is still God, just in a lesser form. I believe that God is the only thing that exists. Our concept of negative and positive is based on our direct relation with a certain experience, right? Two people can have two totally different experiences with the same exact thing. For example, two people can go on the exact same roller coaster, and one person could have an amazing time and consider that experience extremely positive, versus another person can go on a roller coaster and literally be traumatized from that experience. So in that sense, that is a negative experience for them. Two people going on the same exact ride, but having two totally different experiences, which is truly our own perception. So in my understanding, good and bad is just a perception. It is just a perception of what is. It's just a labeling of our experiences. I feel like the unifying factor that encompasses God is the fact that this God force energy is non-judgmental. It purely just wants to experience through us to understand itself. So we have to think, what does this mean for human beings? I feel like this means from a higher perspective, we can expand and evolve through compassion and love. I believe this is the one thing that separates us from animals, which animals I believe are just purely instinctual, survival based. However, as humans, we're able to make decisions and create complex societies with our minds. We have the ability to choose. So with that ability to choose, we're now able to make higher decisions, decisions of compassion, love, harmony, joy, or make decisions of war, destruction, things of that nature. But whatever choice that we make as human beings is still fulfilling the highest good. I believe that in the choosing of a negative experience in order to evolve, we tend to evolve at a slower pace. In choosing more higher levels of evolution, choosing joy, choosing love, choosing harmony, we can evolve at a much more rapid pace. I believe that God is simply just a mirror of who we are. So if we continue to display hate and destruction and disharmony amongst ourselves, then that is what is going to continue to perpetuate in our existence. But if we continue to uplift and harmonize and have compassion for each other, then that is what is going to perpetuate. Now, when you realize that you are God, you are now responsible for your actions and behavior. You can no longer blame outside forces for whatever is happening in your life. You can't blame the devil no more for your misfortune. You now command power, clarity, and harmony over your existence. You're God now, remember? All that we need is truly within, and our body is the temple.